Hi boys and girls, it's Shane, and anytime you're doing a project there always comes a point in time where you start to question, what am I even thinking about with this? What am I thinking? You know, a car hits my house, it takes out my porch, takes out the porch support to the roof, and they don't have enough insurance to pay for the whole thing to be replaced, so instead I'm going to build a statue. Sounds easy enough. Actually, it doesn't even sound easy when I put it that way out loud, but then you get started on it and you're going to have doubts. That's normal. My wife was out here looking at it earlier like, Shane, it looks like it's going to be a little bit long. I'm like, it's not even anywhere done, but we're going to see how this goes. Let's keep working on it today. It's a beautiful, almost 80 degrees today in Arkansas. I got my steel toe flip-flops on, so I'm definitely ready to do some concrete work. I apologize for the wailing banshees in the background. We're right next to an elementary school and the weather's beautiful, so the kids are all out screaming. You may hear that going on. This is a piece of rebar, and I'm going to try while filming with one hand to place this through my wire mesh grid. You can see how strong, when people look at this chicken wire, they think, oh, that's not very strong, but this big piece of rebar is coming out off of that right now and is being held no problem. So what this is going to be for, this conduit is going to be for wires that are going to go to the arm of the dragon. We're going to connect it out to this rebar, and that's going to hold all of that together just in case it does start to split. It'll keep it from sagging as much as this happens, because a crack can happen in concrete and the statue can still hold itself together. Things like this and things like this will help to hold it all together and mean even if it cracks a little bit, it's going to be okay. It's not going to sink by very much. So we're just twisting it up with some wire and some various points that'll hold all that straight and make us a nice arm. We're going to use rebar to reinforce the body of the dragon as it comes back this way. You can see the neck and the head starting to form here. I'm going to add a couple more pieces of rebar going this way, maybe one more this way, because this is going to be holding out pretty far and unsupported. So I want to make sure that's in good shape. Feel like we're getting close now. We've got this all set up, so once we get this concreted, that arm position should be good and stable. The secret ingredient is Rapid Set mortar mix. This is from Home Depot. I don't know of anywhere else to buy it, and I don't know of another product that's equivalent. But it will allow us to build the whole statue. It cures to about 8,000 psi, which is about 2.5 times stronger than regular concrete. And it sets in about 15 to 20 minutes. We're just going to mix it up in this tub with some water. If I get too much water, I'll add some more mortar mix, but I'm doing about half a bag at once because it sets so quickly. If I do a full bag, I won't be able to work it in fast enough. They do sell little packets with this mix. They're little tiny packets, and you can fit them in there, and they add 15 minutes to the cure time for every packet you use. I have no idea what magic they use to make that happen. Looks like I need a little more powder. So just a little more mortar mix. Now we'll mix it up, and if I get too much powder, I just add more water until I get it to about the consistency I want. I want it to be a little bit rigid so I can sculpt with it, but if I get it too rigid, it's just going to crumble. So there's kind of a delicate balance we go for, and so with this life, there are many times you have a delicate balance where success or succeeding at the thing that you're doing, at least, depends on your ability to balance two opposing things. I have how dry it is and how wet it is as two opposite spectrum items in this, and getting it exactly right, which I think I'm about there, is going to be pretty good for me to accomplish what I want. But if I have too much of one or too much of another, it can be a problem. Maybe it's too much fun, too much leisure time and not enough work time for you, or maybe it's too much work time or not enough leisure time. Maybe it could be all those things. So we're going to be pushing this into the mesh as we go. I don't know how well I can film this because I have to work fast, but we're going to flatten it out, work it all into this mesh, and start to build a shoulder for our dragon. So now we got a shoulder put together, a little bit of one anyway. This is more the rough outline right now. We're just getting started. We're going to let that cure up for just a few minutes, give it about 20-30 minutes, and we'll be ready to continue building up on this statue. A few minutes of making mud pies out of mortar and sticking it here, and we're starting to get a nice little arm shape and some shoulder building going. Some idea of how thin things actually are. Let's see here. It's already getting hard. That's about 20 minutes from where I put that on there. I can push against it. I can rest my weight on its back. Part of that is the shape. It's shifting everything off to the sides like an arch. It's the end of the day. We've done about 4 bags of mortar. You can see how thin this is. And I'm leaning against it right now, putting all my weight on it. It's solid. I could probably set on this right now, but I'll wait for all this to harden up. I just did it a bit ago.